Hey everyone, before I start, I just want to say that I am not sponsored by Wooting and I pre-ordered this keyboard with my own money when it was first announced. Everything in this video is my own personal opinion about the keyboard and brand. So I know that there's been a lot of buzz online about the Wooting 80HE. Many people are talking about it as a game changer and some have done deep dives into its features. However, not many reviews focus on what it's like to use casually, day in and day out. But before we dive in, let me clarify, I am not a keyboard expert or professional reviewer. In fact, this is my first ever video where I talk about a keyboard or attempt a review. So take this as an honest opinion of someone who's been using this keyboard daily for school, gaming, and everything in between. This will be more of a personal take of what I like, what stood out, and why it's earned a permanent spot on my desk, replacing my 60HE. So if you haven't heard of it, the Wooting 80HE is a Hall effect keyboard with an 80% form factor. There are plenty of videos out there from experts who explain the tech in depth, so I won't do that here. But for regular folks like me, the big question is, what can this keyboard actually offer? Features like rapid trigger and the newly introduced Rappy Snappy sound cool, but do they matter for me or for everyday use? No, honestly, not really. Unless you're looking to break your word per minute record, then that's going to be useful for that. What I really do like about this keyboard, and every keyboard from Wooting, is that the setup and first impressions are great. They're phenomenal. Setting it up is a breeze. You don't need to download any software to get started. Just plug it in and you're good to go. But if you do want to customize your keyboard, there is a thing called the Wootility. It is web-based software, which I find to be one of the most intuitive, clean, and user-friendly software I've ever seen. Honestly, I wish more companies would adopt this approach instead of implementing their proprietary softwares to download onto your computer, but I digress. You can save multiple profiles on here and switch between them on the fly directly on your keyboard. You can customize actuation points, RGB settings, and other stuff on this Wootility. Personally, I set my actuation points to 1mm. While you can go as low as 0.1mm with these switches, that's too sensitive for me. I usually end up activating keys by accident, so I set it to 1mm. That's the sweet spot for me. For some people who don't care about gaming, typing experience might be the most important thing that they look for in a keyboard, and honestly, that is valid. These switches are the Lecker V2s. They are an improvement over the V1s, but there is still some stem wobbling. Not as bad as the V1s, but you can look into aftermarket options such as the Gateron Jades or Geon Raw HEs. Those are the most popular ones at the moment. They offer a different typing experience and they have different sound profiles. I don't have both of them on hand, unfortunately, because I am content with the Leckers, but I did order the Raw HEs to try them out and hopefully those come in soon. Some might be wondering about the build quality of the Wooting 80HE. I have the Frost case, which is plastic and not the metal cases. Plastic case doesn't bother me much, but I do plan on switching it out in the future. One downside of the 80% form factor is the limited availability of aftermarket cases. Thankfully though, new options like the GT80 on KVD fans are starting to pop up, and I already have a build in mind for that. Super excited, gonna be on the screen right now. Moving forward into the future, there's definitely going to be a lot of aftermarket options, but at this moment in time, there are not a lot. So if you are someone who just games casually, this might be a bit overkill for you, because this keyboard really was made for gaming. That's where this keyboard truly shines. The analog functionality is fantastic for certain games, and the rapid trigger feature, while it might sound like a marketing gimmick, makes a noticeable difference. By allowing keys to be activated as soon as you release is quite significant. I thought it wouldn't make a difference. I came from Cherry MX Reds, just normal mechanical switches, to this, and it's day and night. It provides a level of precision and responsiveness in games that's hard to describe until you experience it yourself. With that said, don't expect this keyboard to turn you into the next esports champion. Like, it might elevate your gaming performance, but it won't break through to the next level. There are some considerations you should take when thinking about buying the Wooting 80HE. It's not cheap. It's definitely an investment. While I think it's worth every penny, it's something to consider if you're on a budget. Also, keep in mind that these keyboards are made in batches, so there's often a wait time when you order. If you need a quick replacement right now, this might not be the best option for you, but those are some considerations. Final thoughts on this keyboard. Overall, the Wooting 80HE has been an absolute joy to use. There might be some stabilizer issues that were fixed with lubing them, but stock you might find it to be a little lackluster. So in that sense, that's my only real complaint about this keyboard. It's a great enough keyboard where I've shelved my 60HE as decoration, and honestly I don't really miss that keyboard. This keyboard's just generally a lot better than that one. Whether I'm typing long documents or when I'm gaming or tinkering with it, everything feels fun. It's an experience. I can't recommend this enough. So that's my take. If you've been curious about the Wooting 80HE or have questions about my experience, there's definitely a lot of things I haven't covered in this video, so feel free to drop those questions in the comments and I will do my best to answer your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts, share your experience. I'd love to hear it all. So thank you for watching and we'll see you next time.